Hello, beautiful people of the internet. How are you doing today? My name is Jackie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today what I have for you is just going to be a quick chatty video where I'm going to organize my TBR shelf on Goodreads. I currently have 250-ish books on my Goodreads TBR shelf, which I know compared to some other people is not a lot. But if I'm being realistic, I know there are a lot of books on there that I used to be interested in, but I just don't really care about anymore or don't see myself realistically reading. So I thought it would be a good time to purge some of those books from my shelf. Also, I don't necessarily have sequels that I plan on reading on my TBR shelf, so I should probably add some books as well to have a more accurate TBR. So basically in this video, I'm going to go through my TBR and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to get rid of and why. So if we scroll down, my want to read shelf currently has 251 books on it. So hey, I said 250, it was only one book off. And I am going to change the order to oldest first because I think that's where most of the books that I'm going to delete are. First of all, I kind of don't think I'm actually going to read Gone Girl in Dark Places. If I'm being honest, I loved the film Gone Girl, but because I already know the twist, I don't see myself feeling motivated to pick up the book. And I also don't see myself feeling motivated to read Dark Places. Sharp Objects was only a 3-star for me, so these have been on my TBR for, what, 4 years? I don't think I'm going to read them, so let's just delete those. I'm sorry. I know some of you are probably so upset because you love Gillian Flynn. When was the last time Gillian Flynn actually wrote a new book, by the way? I mean, she totally made a lot of money, so kudos to her. Maybe she just decided that she wants to be independently wealthy now, which honestly, I can't blame her for that. Now I'm kind of torn about The Diviners by Libba Bray because I believe this is a young adult book. However, it does involve a mystery plotline and is set in the past. And you all know I love a historical mystery. Plus, I've had some commenters tell me I should read this. So I think I will keep it on for now, even though it is young adult and I don't really like young adult anymore. However, I think I am going to get rid of Truly Devious. I don't see myself reading that. I think pretty much every young adult book on here that I don't own for the most part is going to get deleted from the TBR because I just don't really like young adult anymore. I do own 3 Dark Crowns and that is on my These Books Will Self-Destruct list, so I'm going to keep that. What about The Queen of the Tierling? I don't even remember what this is about. Is her name Princess Kelsey? Kelsey to me does not sound like a fantasy name. Like, I went to elementary school with girls named Kelsey. And her mother is Queen Alyssa. Just change the first letter and that's my sister's name. Oh, my stepsister. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna read this either. I don't think it's gonna happen, so sorry. Sorry if I delete a book from my TBR that's your favorite book or something. I'm sorry, do not take it personal. I don't mean to disparage these books, but I just am being realistic, saying I don't think I'm going to read them. I don't know if I'm actually going to read The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue because I've heard the author is a bit problematic, but I do own this one, so I might not delete it yet. I also own Children of Blood and Bone, and while this is a young adult book, I do own it, and a commenter told me that I might like the audiobook, so that one is staying on the TBR. Realistically, I also don't know if I'm ever going to read American Gods by Neil Gaiman. but I'm not ready to delete it quite yet, so that can stay on. Sky in the Deep was also on my self-destruct list. Fury Born by Claire Legrand I actually read the first chapter of, and I thought it was a decent first chapter. I do remember that. Am I actually going to read it though? It's a young adult fantasy. Is 23-year-old Jackie going to read a young adult fantasy? Not very likely. So should I just take that off? Yeah, I mean, it's been on here for 4 years and I haven't read it yet, or even really thought about it in a long time, so I'm just deleting things left and right. I'm also not sure about Every Heart a Doorway. This is a portal fantasy, which is not something that super excites me. But the reason I really wanted to read it once upon a time is because I heard that this first book has an asexual character. And there are not enough asexual characters in fiction. I don't know if I'm going to read that one or not, but for now it can stay. I am going to get rid of The Naturals. I really liked The Fixer by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, but I just don't see myself reading this series at this point in time. And I'm also going to delete The 1000th Floor. Anti-Darkian was also on my self-destruct list. To be honest, I didn't know that I even had The Wheel of Time on my TBR. Am I ever gonna read this? Probably not, but I'll keep it on for now because it's so popular. I don't know if I'm actually gonna ever read it though. I am going to get rid of this one. Fallen Kingdoms. Or is it Falling Kingdoms? Falling Kingdoms. I believe I read the first chapter of this too, and I liked the first chapter. But again, this is a young adult fantasy. And am I gonna read young adult fantasy? It's not likely. To be honest, I don't know if I'm gonna read any of these. I mean, the adult fantasy ones, maybe I will eventually. Probably not soon, though. I just don't read fantasy that often. I have to be in a very specific mood, and it doesn't happen that often. I guess I'll keep all of these for now, though. Am I actually going to read them, though? Who the hell knows? Another young adult book, and like I said, I liked Jennifer Lynn Barnes' duology. I liked the Fixer duology, but I just have to be realistic and say I'm probably not going to read these. Someday, maybe I'll read Brandon Sanderson. I don't even remember what this book is about. Why did I add this? Well, this is a really short description. Oh, this is young adult? Ew, no. I'm not gonna read that. And I'm probably not gonna read Girls with Paper and Fire either. I know some of you told me to read it, but I'm just being realistic. It's not gonna happen at this point. I'm getting rid of this because I don't think I'm gonna read this. I don't think I'm gonna read this either. I like Alexa Dunn's YouTube videos, but I just don't think I'm gonna read this. I don't think I'm going to read The Lies of Locke Lamora either, because I've heard this one is kind of like a grimdark fantasy. And I don't know if I need that in my life. I don't know if that's not the vibe. That's not the vibe that I need. Assassin's Apprentice, honestly, I probably won't ever read that, but I'm going to keep it on for now, because I know how beloved these books are. I think I am going to get rid of Grave Mercy and The Roanoke Girls because these are young adult books. Also, what is The Clockmaker's Daughter about? I don't remember what this is about. This actually sounds interesting. Okay. Evidently, I was onto something when I added this to my TBR. It's a historical fiction and a mystery? A historical mystery? Okay, I think I'm actually going to read this, Did any of my friends read it? Okay, one person gave it 3 stars. Yeah, that's not bad. This actually sounds interesting, so I'm gonna keep this one. Past Me was onto something when she added this. Cut to the Quick is another historical mystery, I believe. I believe it's set in the Regency. Yeah, 1820s London. So yeah, like the Regency. Yeah, okay. I might read that. Love a historical mystery. The Poppy War? I don't know. I know it's really hyped. Everybody's read it. I have heard it's really depressing, and like I said, I don't know if that's the vibe that I need in my life, but I'm gonna keep it on. The Last Mrs. Parrish I've really meant to read, and it just hasn't happened yet. Okay, I have no idea why I added this. Why did I add this book to my TBR? Possibly Murderous Family. Okay. This sounds promising. It is shelved as horror, though. And I do not love horror. I love mysteries, not so much horror. But it's also only 146 pages. Hey, that's really short. So, I guess this one can stay. Have any of you read this? If so, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. There's also a cat on the cover. I love cats. Something bad happened to the cat. If something bad happens to the cat, tell me, because that might be a deal breaker. I get more upset when an animal dies in a book than a person. I'm just being honest. Now, I would love to read The Pillars of the Earth someday. It's just so goddamn long. I'm intimidated. Same with Charles Dickens. Clan of the Cave Bear? I'm not sure if I'm actually going to read that or not, but I'm going to keep it because I think there's a possibility. Anne of Green Gables someday. A Study in Charlotte I own. It's also on my self-destruct list. I'm deleting The Demon King and Evernight. I'm not gonna read those. When I first joined BookTube, they were hyped. I added them, but if I'm being realistic, I'm not gonna read them. So those are both gonna go. I'm sorry if you love those books. I'm just being realistic. I'm not gonna read them. Look at how much we got rid of already. Wow, I am just in a cleaning mood tonight, I guess. I'm just like my mom when she's decided that she's gonna clean the house and she starts throwing a bunch of stuff in the trash. The Glass Bear, I believe, is a young adult fantasy, so I'm not going to read that. Same with Rose Marked. I'm not going to read that. It has a pretty pink cover, though. And I'm only keeping Wicked Like a Wildfire because I own that one. I probably should have put that one on my self-destruct list, but maybe self-destruct round 3, you'll see that book. Everything I Never Told You, maybe I will get to. This one, I believe, is a mystery, so I might get to that one. Maybe I'll read this. I tried to read one Alison Weir book, and I DNF'd it. I don't even know what this book is. Oh, it says young adult. It says young adult. I'm not going to read that. Okay. I'm probably not going to read The Orphan Queen either. I think I added it because I was reading the Lady Janie's books, which Jodi Meadows co-wrote, and I did like those, but yeah, young adult fantasy is not it for me anymore, so that can go. Is this one young adult? I believe this is a Russian-inspired fantasy, which is kind of interesting, but yep, it says young adult. Okay, I'm not going to read that. No. Maybe I'll just read a nonfiction book about Russia instead. These two, I remember why I added these, and it's because I watched a vlog from Books and Lala where she was reading books with lie in the title, and she read both of these books. Will I actually read them? I don't know, but they're mysteries, so there's a chance I will read them. Okay. The Lost Queen, that's... I don't know if it's a fantasy or just a historical fiction, but it's about the sister of Merlin, and I believe Tori really liked this one, so I do think someday I will read that. Am I gonna read I Know Who You Are? It is by Alice Feeney, and I love Alice Feeney, but I've heard this is by far her worst book. I mean, look at the rating. I think I'll keep it on. I don't actually know if I'm going to read The Silence of the Girls or not, because there are so many myth retellings inspired by the Trojan War out there now. I don't know if this is the one that I want to read, but I'm not going to delete it because I might actually read it. These two, though, I'm not gonna read those for sure. It's not gonna happen, so sorry. Not reading those. I want to remind myself what this is about. These ones I think are all gonna stay. I don't remember what this is. This one I remember I added because I was looking for The Secret History by Donna Tartt, and this also came up. Yeah. And I mean, it's a historical book about the daughters of Genghis Khan. And I know nothing about the daughters of Genghis Khan, but I like history books that are centered on women. So maybe I'll keep that. I don't know. I may never actually read it. I kind of added it on impulse, but you know. This one I'm conflicted about reading the description because it says it's young adult, which as we know is a no-go for me. But the main character is also trying to solve her father's murder. And you know I love books with murder mystery plot lines, so that does sound kind of good. I don't know. I guess since I'm conflicted, I'm gonna leave it for now. It says 12 of my friends have shelved this. That's a lot. 4 stars. Oh, 2. That's disappointing. And then these people all want to read. I don't know. Maybe I'll read this. I don't know. I don't even know why I added this one. I don't know what this is about. Oh, it says literary fiction. I don't really like literary fiction. The writing style of literary fiction doesn't work for me. I don't know. Maybe I'll read this one. I'll keep it because I'm not sure. I'm not going to read this. Definitely. No, I'm not reading that. It's a young adult fantasy again, so that's not going to happen. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder is also young adult, but several of you have told me that I need to read this, so I guess I'll keep it on because you all want me to read it. That's on my physical TBR. I don't know if I'm actually going to read The Sin Eater or not. I guess since I'm not sure, I'll keep it. This is a young adult fantasy again, I believe, so I'm getting rid of that. I just am not a young adult fantasy girl anymore. We have some histories here. This, I believe, is a historical fiction, and really the reason why I added it is because I think the cover is stunning. Okay, so it's a historical fiction that also has magical realism elements. I'm not big on magical realism. So I may not read this, but I guess I'll keep it for now. Let's see, some of my friends shelved it. Hey, one of my friends gave it 5 stars. Okay. I'll keep that one. I don't really remember why I added this one. I must have seen it in someone's vlog, but it is a mystery, I believe, so I might actually read it. I have no memory of adding this. Oh, it's about World War II? Oh, I don't like World War II books. It's 500 pages also. Fourteen of my friends have read this. 3-star, 2-star, a DNF. Oof. And a 4.5. 2 other 5 stars, a 4-star. It does have a 4.3 overall rating. I do kind of like this quote here. Facing a pistol-wielding murderer does tend to put parents further down the list of things to be intimidated by. maybe I'll read this. If you've read this book, do let me know in the comments because I want to know if it's for me or not. It sounds kind of interesting, but I am not really interested in the World Wars. And so when I read historical fiction, I usually don't read books set during that time period. But, you know, if you guys tell me it's a really good book and you think I'll like it, then I could definitely check it out. I do not remember what this is about. It might be young adult. And this one I added, okay, I added this one because it sounds like an Outlander ripoff. I think it's a time travel, like, Scottish book. So I don't know if I'm actually going to read it or not. I think I just added it because it sounded like Outlander, which I love. Oh, this is young adult. Okay, I'm sorry. If it's young adult, I'm not going to read it. I barely read fantasy as it is. I'm definitely not going to read young adult fantasy. I feel like young adult fantasy is one of the most popular genres on BookTube, and that's why I added so many, because I heard so many good things about these books. But if I'm being realistic, at this point in my life, am not into that sort of thing. Where was I? Okay, and then this one, it does have a pretty high rating. I don't know if I'm actually going to read this. Two of my friends marked it as want to read. I don't know. Maybe I need to make a video where I go through all these books that I said I'm on the fence on and I read the first chapter to see if I like it or not and decide if I want to keep it on my TBR or take it off. Let me know if that sounds like something you would be interested in. I'm not sure if I'm going to read the Inheritance Games or not because this is young adult, but it's by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, who we've established I liked books by her before, and I know this is a very popular BookTube series. I believe the final book just came out, and I've heard mixed reviews for it, so do let me know about that one as well. The Project, I'm honestly not very excited for, but I kind of want to give Courtney Summer a second chance, so maybe I'll read that. This one has a cool concept, but the library doesn't have it, so I'd have to buy a copy. I'm not sure if I want to do that or not, but I'll leave it on for now. I'm actually reading this one this month. I just got it from the library. This one I believe is a historical mystery, so I'll keep that. These ones I want to keep, yes, yes. This one, again, I think I would have to buy, so I may not actually read it, but there's a chance, so I'll keep it. I don't remember what this is, so let's look at that one too. Yeah, it says historical fiction and mystery. Set in Ireland. That's cool. So I will probably read that. That sounds like something I would be interested in. Science fiction. I don't really like science fiction. Kind of has an interesting cover, though. It sounds kind of interesting. Oh, Lala read this? She gave it a 3. That's one I'm still on the fence about, so we'll see. All of these... Yeah. I mean, we're getting into 2021, so I think probably all of these I'm going to want to keep from now on. I think we've really purged the ones that I'm not interested in. Yeah. I feel like we're now firmly into the books that I want to read category. Like, you can see now it's mostly historical fiction, mysteries, thrillers, historical mysteries, the kind of stuff that I am interested in, some nonfiction. I just feel like these are the genres that I like the most. And yes, I also like fantasy, but it's not something I read all that often. So if I'm just being honest with myself, I know a lot of these books are popular and they sound good, but if I'm being honest, I know I'm not going to read them. So why lie to myself or to you? If I know I'm not going to read something, just delete it from the TBR. And now the TBR is down to 223 books. So wow, I really got rid of a lot. But I definitely have some things I need to add. I've made it a goal to read every Agatha Christie book, but I'm kind of debating, like, do I actually want to add every single Agatha Christie to my TBR shelf? I guess I should, but that's gonna be a lot of books. But I guess I should have them on there because I do actually want to read them, you know? Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. I post new videos every single Wednesday and Sunday. My social media links are down below if you want to follow me on Tumblr, Instagram, or be my friend on Goodreads. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a mesmerizing rest of your day. Bye, and I'll see you next time.